Gunline. Fire mission coming down. I'm your host, Lopez, and you're listening to the On the Gunline podcast, where we shoot the shit like we did in the past out in the field. On here with me today, I got my two co-hosts. I got OL Hunt and O Urena with me. What's going on, fellas?
What's up?
It's a beautiful day in somebody's neighborhood.
God damn. I feel like Hunt's gonna depress me over here. I want to hang myself already. God damn, I want to Epstein myself.
Yeah, where's Hillary when I need her? I really need Hillary right now to unalive me.
Well, bro, I mean, honestly, I think we've all had hell of weeks. I don't know about Urena over here. I think he's probably the one that's had the best week ever so far.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna die though. I don't know.
Let's go ahead and let the people know what's going on with you. And
so
go ahead.
I usually meal prep every Sunday. I get some like frozen chicken from Publix, throw it in the oven 45 minutes, put some barbecue sauce on it. You got the next 5 days. Today was like the last meal, so like I took a bite, and then I put the tray down because I was gonna do something on the computer, and I looked down at the chicken, and in the middle of it was raw, man. Yeah, I was like, shit. I think I don't know, man.
Chicken.
And I'm just waiting to see what's gonna happen next.
Hey, Urena, what is your ethnicity, if you don't mind me asking, man? I know, yeah, I fucked that word up. But what is your background, man?
If you put the clues together,
Korean,
and if you go back to episode 2, and then you connect the 4th episode that I was on, you'll be able to go, oh snap, he told us all along. So there's riddles, and viewers at home, make sure you follow along because there's clues in every episode.
So it's like ding ding ding. I work a lot and I'm no fun.
Well, I mean, I wasn't gonna say anything until now, but I mean, he even has a haircut.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I know. I'm just fucking. I know, man. I'm just fucking with you, bro.
God damn, you got the whole Asian look going, brother. You look like a fucking Katusa.
That's one of 8 authorized hairstyles from Kim Jong-un.
That dude revolutionized the hair game. That guy was onto something.
Well, one thing I can guarantee you, Hunt, is that he's definitely got no black ancestry in him fucking up chicken like that.
Yeah, they didn't tell you when enough season was enough season, and when to flip the chicken. The ancestors didn't come.
I mean, normally what I do when I prep my chicken is I'll go ahead and boil it first for a while. And it's just how I do my things. All right, just I'm gonna teach y'all something. I boil the bitch, right? And then I'll put my seasonings in it so it can all get marinated up in that bitch. And I know that it's well cooked because I check the temperature on that shit. And then I'll either bake it or I'll fry it. But guess what? The inside is fucking cooked. All right. So, just saying. And it's got flavor. So learn y'all something.
We'll find out, man. I put a lot of sauce on my chicken, man.
Pepper's not sauce.
What? No, there's this sauce that just came out. And,
it's called salt?
Yeah, I put some tahini. I saw a TikTok where somebody put tahini on the chicken.
What the fuck, tahini? I never heard of that shit.
Yeah, man.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Have you tried the tapatio?
Tapatio goes on everything. Yes, everything. I carry that bitch everywhere. Gentlemen, so I put it out on the Tickety Talk. I posed a question out there. And honestly, it's gotten a lot of views overnight. You know, I'm not used to seeing that many. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, man, that's where you got to start marketing, man. I'm telling you, it's TikTok is it.
But here's my question to y'all, and I think we're pretty calibrated on how we feel about this. Porn, gentlemen, porn. So it came from one of our listeners / viewers. Had put it on their Facebook about is it cheating if you watch porn? And of course, being the red-blooded goddamn American that I am, no, it's not fucking cheating. But somebody had gone in there and placed something along the lines of like, well, if it's agreed to or agreed upon with your spouse or significant other that it is cheating, then it's cheating. Now, my question to you all Who the fuck has a conversation about masturbation or porn being cheating?
Fucking lame ass people. Like, first of all, like, women watch porn too. So, like, and then if you like, it's not cheating. It really isn't, because if a woman is fucking watching porn and she's flicking the bean, I'd rather a woman do that shit than her go off and fucking getting her fucking twat punched by some random motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm in a relationship with somebody, if you want to flick the bean at the crib, go ahead and do your thing. Get the fucking rose and whatever the fuck that shit do, knock yourself out.
Hey, you know, play DJ right there. What do you think, Irina?
It all comes down to insecurity, I think, on one side. My opinion, that it comes down to the insecurity, because I think one partner doesn't like the idea that the other partner is like beating off to other people instead of them. You know,
See,
like
I haven't even brought up the beating off part yet, though. I was just saying watching porn.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. In general, like they're looking at somebody with probably 9 times out of 10, there's no evidence to back this up, but I'm just saying that the body shape of the person that they're watching is nowhere.
The penis.
Is nowhere near the body shape of their partner.
The penis.
Oh my gosh. I mean, here's my thoughts on it. I think if that's a conversation you're having with your fucking significant other, first of all, you're a beta male. Second of all, if you think that let's say, for example, the woman watches porn and the male doesn't, then she probably puts that dildo in your ass too. You know,
you're getting pegged 100% of the time.
Yeah, you're probably gonna be the cuck. You know, while you think you're making love to her, there's a motherfucker out there clapping them cheeks, Chief.
She thinking about like me beating them cheeks.
You know, I mean, on that, I mean, there's women out there that use bobs or battery operated boyfriends, or they have fucking, you know, other what do they call phallicics or phalluses? They got these fucking giant dildos they stick in their fucking pussy, right?
Bro, I know the hottest shit is that fucking rose or whatever. That's like what the bitches are on right now. There's some little rose thing. Apparently, it like sucks on the clit real good and it just gives bitches this heart attack.
What There's one that lays eggs inside.
What?
It's like they squeeze it and it lays eggs inside. It's like an alien penis. It's squeezed and it just like drops eggs. Plastic eggs inside of you.
Damn. This fool talking about some shit that I have no idea about. Tell us more.
That's that anime shit.
Yeah,
bro. Now that we're on porn.
Yeah, I know. I'm fucking being a racist. My bad. Yo.
No, anime. I had a soldier out in Fort Stewart that was into anime porn. Why? What are you getting off of cartoons?
Them bitches got big ass titties.
I used to think it was something cool to watch as a kid when I was younger.
Anime porn?
Sick. Yeah. Until it was like 1999, 98, and I'm listening to Line with Adam Carolla and Dr.
on K-Rock.
And they were talking about that. And to this day, this like keeps me from watching it. Like I'm tuned off from it. And Adam Carolla said it meant like you're beating off to some Asian man's craftsmanship, basically.
Okay, so you're beating off. In that case, you're literally beating off to some white dude or some black dude, some Spanish dude's director craftsmanship, because there's a director, there's a writer. They're doing this scene to the porn.
They're directing a scene with 2 actual people that exist, right?
Whereas but they have to write a script.
Some old man in this like shack in the middle of the night, he's like drawing and shit. He's like, "Oh man, I'm gonna get these kids."
Hey, y'all are too fucking well versed.
Oh, but it's the same thing. But it's the same thing. Like I understand what Irina's saying, but you got to think about it. In the director's mind, in who's ever writing that screen's mind, they're literally doing the same thing. It's just they're not drawing it out.
Okay,
they're writing it out.
Okay, now I'm gonna pose a question to you all. All of us beat our meat. We all jerked the gurk. We all fucking flogged that dolphin.
20 minutes ago. No, November is over with.
Now, there's no worse place. We've all deployed. There's no worse place than fucking beating that meat than a fucking porta potty in Camp Buring. All right, in the middle of fucking summer, especially when they're fucking changing out the fucking they're sucking up the shitters, and you got that nasty smell going down Camp Buring, but you still right there jerking the gherkin. And not only that, you're looking at shit house porn. I know I've beat my meat to some very, very detailed shitter house porn.
Yo,
here's what happened. I'm at NTC, doing hands across the desert. All right, it was hot as fuck, man. It was really hot, and I see this porta john up on this hill, and I remember just kind of like taking a step, looking down, take another step, look down, and I'm like, man, I don't know what it was. I was like, fuck, it's hot. I'm sweating, and I remember just going to the porta john, and then there was just this graphic novel, like on the wall, like. Dude, I can't, like, it was perfect. It was like...
You got all the veins on the penis and shit.
Like
the
work that went into that thing, man, I was like, wow. Like, I'd be a criminal not to. Like it wouldn't do it justice if I just, like, didn't do anything about it. So I was like, you know what, man? That deserved, like, yeah, that's going to get it. That's going to get it.
Now, was it the penis penetrating the vagina, or was it like... a fucking female with the legs open?
It was all of it, man. It was all of it. And then I remember I paused because like the formation was passing by the front of the porta john door. Like, where'd Rita go? Where'd that guy go? I think he's
beat my meat.
I think he's taking a shit. Oh, okay. Man, this sucks. And then just like walk off, and I'm like, all right, coast is clear. That's what I started.
Hey, can y'all keep it down?
Keep it down, goddammit. But yo, man, I got like, I got two stories, man. Like, god damn it, it wasn't a porta potty. So this is circa 2003 when a lot of y'all were in high school, or not even. No, but this is like, yo, literally
44 years old.
Yeah. Well, you were in fucking, you were cleaning teeth at the time.
I was.
Yeah. So fucking, this is 2003. We didn't have porta potties in Iraq. We literally had like makeshift little bullshits. And at the time we had the portable DVD players that everybody had. And there was like porn smuggled in. I had my little portable DVD player, had my porn. It's nighttime. We're outside of a house. I'm thinking I'm good to go by myself. And I'm just like going at it. Just, and I hear somebody like knocking on the door, peeking in the crack. And I'm like, fuck, I got caught. And I'm like, well, fuck it. 2 tears in the bucket at this point. And then there was this time on my last deployment. I kind of felt bad about this one. Like, I'm about to share with y'all some shit that probably should die with me. So it's the middle of the night. I wake myself up. I'm like, I'm gonna go take a shower in the middle of the night so I can beat my meat in peace. I wander into the wrong fucking showers. I run into the female showers.
What a coincidence.
Yes, I'm like beat my meat. Finally beat my meat. You know what I'm saying? The baby batter came out. Okay, I'm good. I leave, I see a female soldiers come in, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I look at the door, and I was like, holy shit. This is the fucking women's shower.
Bro. Did any of them go into your shower stall to see your fucking knuckle babies?
I don't know, because I was walking out, and she was walking in, and I was like, what the fuck? I turned back around, and I was like, holy shit. Like, I got away with one.
Wow. All right. I've told this story a couple of times, but if there's any new listeners out there, I'll give y'all my most embarrassing moment of getting busted, fucking choking that chicken, bro. It was on our deployment in 06 out there when we were staying at the motherfucking palace, at the Bath Palace.
Yeah.
And so I was sharing a room. It was me, Cruz, Holguin, and Diaz. And so we had it all divided up with the ponchos, you know what I'm saying, and a wall locker. So we had it divided up. And it was late at night. We had already come back from mission. And I was watching some motherfucking good old, motivational visual stimulant.
Yeah.
Ava Devine.
And all I know is Sergeant Maluga at the time, Chief Maluga now, but Sergeant Maluga comes by and he's like, "Where's Lopez at? Where's Lopez at?" And I'm like mid-stroke, baby. I'm like fucking cranking that bitch. I don't use lotion. I don't use any. I use spit, baby. Yeah, baby. I'm fucking stroking that bitch, making that baby batter get ready to come out, man. All of a sudden, fucking Sergeant Maluga opens up the motherfucking poncho. He sees me mid-stroke. I turn around. I look like motherfucking Chappelle from Grandma. No, that looks like me. I'm like, oh shit. And Maluga's like, whoa, what the fuck? Turns around and Sergeant Ward is like, what the fuck? What happened, Maui? What happened? You're like, nothing. Lopez just doing his dizzle. He just doing his dizzle. And yeah, bro. Moral of the story is I didn't stop. I kept on jerking that shit, dog, because I'm not about to lose this nut. You know how fucking much it sucks?
I can't stop.
Skeet, motherfucker. You know what
bro, I've been knowing Maui. Next year will be 20 years of knowing that motherfucker. Mm-hmm. Like, we went to basic together. You know what I'm saying? Yes, like, we went to basic together. He was in 4th platoon. Like, I know that motherfucker. I've been knowing that motherfucker for 20 fucking years, man.
Damn, bro. So yeah, man. I mean, that was the time that I got caught, you know, literally not red-handed. I guess I would be what would it be?
Yeah. Brown-handed. I don't fucking know.
I don't know. Pink-handed? Whatever. But anyways, not one time did I ever think that I was cheating on anyone. I was in a relationship at the time. And you know, if my significant other decided to go ahead and you know, play DJ down there and, you know, skirt, you know, handle your business. You know,
bro, I've been in a relationship where me and somebody like watch porn together. And like you said, she's playing DJ Hero with one hand and she's like beating me off with the other hand. Like,
dude,
it's not cheating.
There's nothing better than that. To me, there's nothing better than when, you know, she's like giving you a good handy and you're giving her 2 fingers in there. Bro,
yeah, it's like I don't know. People are just
you're watching The Notebook on Netflix.
Yeah, The Notebook.
Right. While he's beating off, looking at the homegirl and shit. You know what was her name?
Yeah.
Goddamn, Mean Girls bitch.
Yeah, she's apparently a twat in real life.
She looks like him, man. You know who else is a twat in real life?
Who?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Ghislaine
Maxwell.
Yo, she dropping. The pilot is dropping names. The pilot.
He's not dropping fucking dimes. He's dropping base plates, baby.
He is.
God damn. What do you think? What's going on, Urena?
Well, the law says they can't broadcast it live. You're only getting like some small bits and pieces of it from the news, but there's not a lot of it because there's no incentive for any one news company to report it because both sides are implicated in this. You know, like Fox won't do it because Trump got on it, and maybe some people from Fox got boarded that plane. CNN won't cover it because their boy Bill Clinton fucking he was a returning visitor.
Frequent flyer.
That motherfucker. I was about to say that shit.
Premium Express Diamond Club pass. You know, like.
Bro, I mean, how long before you think that she gets suicided, Hunt?
I don't think she's gonna get suicided, and the reason why is because, like, I do think that even though there's powers that be, Hillary would want shit to be quiet. There's even more powers that be that want those that were participants to be exposed. I think if she gets Hillaried, I will be surprised.
I think she was saved because she's a British national, man, in an American prison.
Yeah, I mean, I trip out on the fact how there's people actually trying to fucking not support her, but have her back in the way. For example, Geraldo Rivera. I don't know if y'all seen about this or heard about this.
Fuck that twat.
That motherfucker went on there talking about she's been held without bail for X amount of time. First of all, who gives a fuck? She's a fucking flight risk, yo. The bitch has money and connections. So
here's the deal. What he doesn't know. You can be held without bail as long as there's no indictment. If you are not indicted, they have 90 days from the time you are in, from the time they incarcerate or detain you. They have 90 days from that period to put an indictment on you. And if you do not have an indictment, then you can be released on what's called a PR bond, a personal recognizance bond. But if they indict you within them 90 days, you're fucked. It doesn't matter if you don't have a bond or not. And that's what people don't know about the law.
I'm telling you, and this is coming from the University of Lee Hunt. I mean, you know, he studied this shit, I'm pretty sure. Either on the Tickety Talk or the Facebook.
Yeah. Or on the Google. Because
on the Google, baby.
Yeah, hey, trust me, if I'm passionate about something, I've done my due diligence. It doesn't have to agree with anybody, but right. I know at least in the state of Texas, they have 90 days to indict you. Right. You have 90 days from the time you are detained for an indictment to come about. Bro, if there is, you can be released on a PR bond.
Yeah, fuck that. I just think that this bitch is gonna probably get suicided. It's funny how things are happening coincidentally as the trial is going on. For example, you know, Lur from the ruler of Omicron Persei 8 released a new virus out in America or out in the US.
Something that's been proven not to be as harmful, you know.
So do you think is the strand is weakening in any sort?
I think so. I personally think so. And then, I mean, there's so many questions, you know, like it's weakening. And so I don't know why the fuck, you know, they're bringing it up. And there's so many different variants too, because when Delta came out, there were other variants that came out. Delta originated in India. There was one that also originated in South Africa when the one in India came out. And that's when they were saying that you can't call it you can't call the variants by the country that it originated from, because the old ones, they were calling it the Indian variant and they were calling it the South African variant, and people were getting offended or whatever. So they came up with the Delta variant. And then this one, another new variant originates in South Africa, and this one's less harmful. And then somehow it goes from South Africa, which is on the eastern side of the US, and hops all the way over to California. The person, apparently he was fully vaccinated, and he was in South Africa when they found him, apparently.
Here's another one. I got a question for y'all. What is fully vaccinated now? I mean, is it just one shot, two shots? It's like the motherfucking D12 song. 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots, 4 shots. Everybody gunshots. Because honestly, dog, what's fully vaccinated? They're like going to be on 20 fucking boosters. Now, when we got the anthrax.
Yo, if you haven't watched South Park post-COVID, you got to watch it. Like, at first it started off slow, but that shit is exactly what the fuck is going on today. When I finished it, I was like, that shit is, and I think it came out right before they came out with the Omicron.
Okay.
The Omicron variant. So what they have is like everything is plus ultra. So they have like they got like McDonald's plus. They have like Starbucks plus ultra.
Right.
And like, yes, like there's one dude in the whole fucking South Park that wasn't vaccinated, so they had to close everybody down. Kenny died because he found out like there was like this secret of who caused the COVID. And like the who caused the COVID was like his 3 friends, like Stan, like they caused it. And like Cartman is like this fucking super Jewish rabbi now.
What
and
the
like
fuck?
yeah, man, like this shit is funny. Like he's a super Jewish rabbi. They get stuck in South Park. He has to go to Cal's house, and the cows try to go to sleep. And he's like fucking his wife. He's like, yeah, you like the hammer of God, and just like pounding his fucking wife. And Kenny's like, what the fuck, like you piece of shit. So Cartman is normally the one that's like, yo, fuck you, Stan, or whatever, right. or Kenny, or whatever the fuck
you, Kyle.
Yeah, fuck you, Kyle. And then like, so he doesn't do that no more. But his kids are like, fuck you, Uncle Kyle.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, man,
dude. But circling back, I'm gonna bust a Jen Psaki here. Circling back to the Omicron, Persei 8. It's weakening. So why are we pushing this fucking get vaccinated agenda?
Here's what I see has happened, right? A new virus is introduced into humanity. We don't take it so well. People die, mostly obese people, mostly people with conditions already, but you won't hear that. But the highest mortality rate, I want to Google this, is among people that are morbidly obese, have pre-existing conditions, people that are not so healthy. They're the ones that are getting like kicking rocks, man. There's onesies and twosies that the media is going to highlight as like, oh my God, this athlete just died of COVID. Those are what we call exceptions to the rule, but they're used as a kind of a blanket example, like, hey, it could happen to him, it could happen to all of you, or whatever. The virus is going to get weak over time, and it's going to turn into another flu that, when you're fucking 5 years old, you get a vaccine for it and all that stuff. Because now supposedly this fucking variant goes straight after the same demographic that they're just now trying to fucking like vaccinate, which is kids. Like, oh, this COVID goes straight for kids now. Like, oh, how convenient.
Exactly.
What a coincidence.
But what I hate is how they're making it say, oh, it's been authorized to be used under emergency use authorization. Anyways, fuck coronavirus, fuck Omicron. I think this shit came out kind of coincidentally too close to the time when somebody who knows a lot of high up motherfuckers were out being pedophiles. And then on top of that, they try to fucking throw Jussie Smollett in there. Like,
Juicy.
like we don't know that he's already fucking guilty.
Juicy.
Oh, Juicy Smollett.
Oh, dude. Who's really going to watch that trial? We know that motherfucker is guilty.
Speaking of which,
go ahead.
Urena, you kind of hit on this, how like with Ghislaine Maxwell shit is not being broadcast. Do you believe it's time to switch up the policy where federal procedures are not televised, because it should be public knowledge, just like what happened with Kyle Rittenhouse was public knowledge, it was televised. What happened with them 3 dudes in Georgia was televised. This shit is this is one of many things that need to be televised. I do believe that what happened with R. Kelly should have been televised. I know it wasn't, but it was another federal child. Like it should have been. Now I understand, and real quick, I'm sorry, but the witnesses, I mean, not the witnesses, the people that are testifying against them, if they didn't want their face to be shown, fully support their faces not being shown. They're shown. But I think in the spirit of transparency, we as the general public should be allowed to see federal proceedings happening.
It's un-American. And then one example today, I was listening to the radio and they were doing the Supreme Court was doing
Roe v. Wade
broadcast of and they didn't televise it, but you were listening to it. You were listening to the voices and stuff. So why can't we get that with this trial? And we're talking about the Supreme Court too, like the highest court in all the land. And the Supreme Court justices, they're never their shit's never televised, and it's done that for a reason. Like it's to keep them from becoming public celebrities, and stuff, because that could affect, because they're in positions for life, basically. But if such a high court is still broadcasting live over the radio, the sound, or on TV, the sound, why can't this trial the same shit? If you're not going to let people win, it seems un-American to me.
But you have a point though. Like as far as, but I would say this, right? They don't want them to be celebrities or high profile, but they're either their dissent or if they approve with the decision, like it's public record. So even what they concede to or they dissent when they make their decision, and it's 4 to 5, 6 to 3, whatever it's going to be, it's still public record. And it just blows my mind that if that's public record, why can't we see the proceedings happening?
Yeah, because the problem with transcripts is that they're open for interpretation as far as how things are said, right? When you read a text message, you don't know what feeling is somebody saying. Like, is somebody being sarcastic when they're saying LOL, or are they being serious, or are they being scared? So when you read
he froze.
Transcript of what's going on in these court procedures, you don't know the context about what was said, except for what somebody that may have been there could say like, hey, this is how I heard it, and then they're telling you some BS, and now saying like, oh yeah, fucking Bill Clinton wasn't on the plane because the pilot said, I don't think he was, but the transcripts say he was, and now you're having to take the word of somebody that was there, and you don't know how it was said. Just it's un-American.
I think technology needs to catch up with the court system, or the vice versa, court system with technology. I don't think a stenographer is needed anymore to type, because everything we hear, everything can be recorded on digital now. Everything can be voice fucking recorded. So why not just let it do that way and then release it to the public after the trial? Let's say at the end of the day of the trial, pass it forward. I agree with both of y'all. I think it's un-American, and it also puts this fucking cloud over the government. Like, what the fuck are y'all hiding? You know what I mean? What are y'all hiding, man?
Because we got two governments that are involved in this whole situation.
Do you think that Ghislaine, just popped into my head, Ghislaine, do you think she maybe suffered from Stockholm syndrome?
Fuck no.
Man. No, if you watch, and I'm just going off the documentary that I watched on fucking Netflix, like she was the facilitator for making sure, she was like the personal secretary that was making sure these connections were happening and stuff. It was a team effort on her
Look
part.
at Patty Hearst, though.
Was that the woman in California that was Stockholm syndrome that robbed the bank and kind of, yeah, okay. No, I don't give a fuck about somebody robbing a bank, but when you knowingly sex traffic children,
right?
That's no. There's no Stockholm syndrome involved with it. You knew that was a fucking child. You deserve whatever. You deserve the punishment to the fucking fullest extent of the law.
Can I ask a question here? And obviously not justifying it at all whatsoever, but let's say it was reversed, that it was Ghislaine who was the fucking making the flights and for her gal pals, and
having dudes rub up on them.
Epstein would get males to be, pool boys, cabana boys, 16-year-olds, 15-year-old boys going out there, getting their little hoo-ha sucked or beating guts and clapping cheeks.
Honestly, it still would be. It's hard to say. Like, this is where I'm about to sound hypocritical. I'm sorry to cut you off, Irina.
No.
But as a male, we're like, fuck it. Like, there's no denying it. As a male, we see it as like, oh, you're a young man. You had this older woman do this, that, and the third. Congratulations. And as a society, we tend not to have that. And it's wrong either way. And I know I'm sounding fucked up, but as a society, we tend to protect women, especially young girls, more than we protect young men. When I know for a fact there are young men that are getting sexually assaulted, just like there are young women getting sexually assaulted, but it's not being reported, in my opinion, at the rate that these females are. And it's an issue that needs to be talked about and be reported. If it was roles reversed, then yes, those boys' voices have a right. There's validation in what they have to say with their stories, because there's no way that should happen to an underage child, regardless.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and answer. Irina, what was your?
I would make the comparison. I would bring up the Catholic Church situation. That's a good example of what happens. That didn't come to light until those choir boys or whatever became adults. Mm-hmm. And they started banning, like finding out that, hey, I wasn't the only one in this situation, by talking to each other. And then things blew open. And it's like, hey, there's like 20 of us that were like violated by the same priests and stuff. And that became a big issue. That's still an issue for the Catholic Church.
Well, that's going in the homosexual route as well. But I'm thinking, like, for example, I saw a video yesterday or the day before that was circulating about Demi Moore scamming with some 15-year-old co-actor or co-worker that they worked together on a soap opera, and she was making out with him. He was a 15-year-old kid. We're talking about Demi Moore here, and the kid looks like a 12-year-old, but he was 15. I'm sorry, at 15, I was probably beating my meat to Demi Moore. You know what I'm saying? So circle back to beating your meat. Was that child abuse, or was that some kind of a assault on the 15-year-old kid if he got to make out with Demi Moore, who was her co-worker, and he enjoyed it?
Technically, honestly speaking, yes, it was
By law. Right.
Because he is an underage. And like I said, that goes back to the whole, oh, you're a guy, you're a young boy, you're fucking this older woman. But we tend not to have that same standard. I'm not going to say standard because that's so inappropriate. But we, once again, are like, no older male should be fucking with somebody that is a child. But in this society, we're like, you're a young man, but you're fucking this older woman. Congratulations. It's still fucking wrong.
But see, and I'm going to play asshole here, because if I would have got the chance when I was about 13 to beat guts with my fucking favorite teacher, Miss Boren, who was in her 20s, I would have done it, bro. I mean, I would have done it.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Like,
that would have been abuse.
Yes, it would have. And I would have did it with one of my favorite teachers. I can't remember her name now, but like I'd have gave that old motherfucker the business. And it still would have been sexual. It still would have been, she should have been accused of rape.
Urena, you're the facts guy. When did it become something taboo? Because they were marrying them off in their teens and below back in the fucking 1800s. When did this shift become that, okay, they have to be above 18 or in certain states 16, for them to be married off?
It shifted when science finally said it broke away from religion and said, hey, a child's brain does not fully mature to make appropriate decisions until around about this age. So let's come to an agreement and say which age do we think, which one's the soonest, the age at which that the brain will mature and the person can make their own rightful decisions. But and somebody said, 18 would be a good year.
I'm just thinking, okay, so science, right? And the whole point of fucking is to procreate. It just so happens to be that for humans, it feels fucking good. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to fuck, that's your natural instinct, biologically and scientifically, that you want to put your motherfucking penis and, beat some guts. Because I know the first time I fucking jerked a gurk, I was 11, bro. I still remember watching my porn. It was called The Chameleon. Fucking loved it.
Everything.
Girl had a tattoo of 2 cherries on her fucking on her twat on the side.
Everything is always fun and games for the boy until he becomes a father of a girl.
Oh, believe me, I got 2 of them.
and then it's like it ain't gonna happen until they're 30. So then at that point you're like, thank God that there's an 18 rule, because at least they wait till they're 18, because any sooner than that I'm gonna beat a dude's ass. Like if they even touch
bro,
my kids.
You're a father of female Hunt as well, and unfortunately we all were fucking teenage boys at one time, so when we come back, because we got to continue this talk over here. When we come back, we're going to continue with the talk. All right, gentlemen, catch y'all here in about 2 minutes.
Yep.
All right, Gunliners, we're back. Well, I'm back right now. I'm waiting for the other 2 to accept the emails. That's right. I'm a baller on a budget here, so I have to only the 40 minutes, and then I have to fucking send out a goddamn email and bring them back in. We got Urena coming back, time meow, and we just got to wait for old Hunt. And we'll pick up with him as soon as he gets back on here. So the question, it's funny how this whole thing started off with porn, and we went through a whole fucking series of other shit, and now we're talking about fucking children. Not fucking children, but we're talking about children. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that it's on my mind. Well, that didn't sound right. It's something that I ponder, I guess was that correct? Would that be it?
I don't know if I want to jump into this conversation, man.
No, like, so it just trips me out. Like, at what point, and it sucks that society looks at things in a double standard. Like if my boy was to beat guts at 15, I'd be like, good job, And if I found out my daughter did something like that, be like, there'd be some hell to pay. because I feel like I didn't raise my kid right. You know what I mean? So, and that I think that's a great question that we'll bring up with Hunt right now. Like, what is it? What is considered raising them right? You know what I'm saying? Hunt, welcome back. So, just talking about it, and we were talking about the whole double standard that there is, obviously, or the whole, if you're a male at 15, you bust a nut, you good to go, high five. But if you're a 15-year-old female, there's gonna be some hell to pay. So, and then I was telling Urena, like, I would feel like I failed as a parent because I didn't show her to, or didn't protect her from doing that. What are your thoughts? Like, is there a raised right?
No, there really isn't. I think it's like Urena was kind of saying, is that like double standard, and like, especially when you have a daughter, like if you are, I think a lot of that comes from our parents too, where like, we had to try to protect our sister. Hey, you got to protect your sister, this, that, and the third, or whatever. Now you can tell your daughter, hey, listen, this is why I don't think you got to do this. Is why I don't think you should be doing X, Y, Z. And if you decide to do X, Y, Z, I'm going to take the precautions in putting you on birth control right now, just in case you want to do X, Y, Z. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's what I can't do now. I also need to warn you that these diseases are out there. I'm going to show you what some of these diseases look like, and what your fucked up behavior can possibly wind up resulting in. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I can't stop you because I can. Who hasn't been to school, skipped school to go smash? Exactly. We've done it. So like, we can't control it. So at some point as a father, you're just gonna have to be like, listen, man, it sucks. It is what it is. Somebody's about to beat your shit in. Like, it is what the fuck it is. Like, somebody about to break your back. Like, you need to protect yourself. And for the boys, listen, you about to break somebody's daughter back. Wrap that shit up. I don't want no fucking grandbabies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe I may be fucked up with saying that shit, but it just is what it is.
Louis C.K. I think had a bit about that. Like, what am I supposed to tell my daughter, about sex? Like, nothing. That your mom handles that shit. Their mother, let them handle that. Well, what about what if she has some bad dick? Oh, she's gonna have a lot of bad dick. But again, that's not your lane.
It's tough, man. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you got it, bro.
Urena and everybody. But I know there was a time, like when I was married, my ex-wife decided to go to her home country for like 2 weeks, and I was like, the whole time, like, I knew this was in the window where there could have been a potential for like the oldest to start, her female cycle. And for the whole 2 weeks, I was literally praying that this shit didn't happen. And I actually told one of my female friends, she was a supply sergeant. I was like, hey, listen, if shit hits the fan, I need you. Like, I need you to talk to her about this shit. Like, I don't know. I don't bleed every month. Like, I need you to coach her through this shit. And she was like, don't worry about it. I got you. If it happens, just let me know. Call me. I'll come over there right now and, square her away or whatever. Just give her so she could be that female there to help her. And I'm saying all that, circle back to, like, you're right. Like, I can't really talk to a female about, like, hey, listen, XYZ, other than the fact that, if you're going to do this, protect yourself.
Right. That's fucking... Dude, what do you think, Hunt? I mean, Urena?
I know who I was as a teenager, and everything was like, I was like, oh, this girl just grazed my elbow. I'm gonna have to sit down for like, and then the teacher would always call on you when the bad timing, and you're like trying to like grab a book and pretend like you were reading it the whole time.
God. Yes.
So I don't know how 12-4-4. And now as a parent, I'm glad that there's age limitations. And also, it's also good, man, because there's also there's predators in the world, man.
Yes.
And if you remove those barriers to them and make it more easy for them to go after kids or whatever, you'd have people saying, oh, it's legal for me to hang out at this elementary school because there's no age requirements.
Dude, have you heard of this what is it, MAP or something like that, or minor attracted person or some shit like that?
Yeah.
No. God damn no. It sounds horrible that they're sex offenders. Bitch, they're sex offenders. Why do you want to fucking why do you want to Disney this shit? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's some things that I believe like you should there's some things that I believe a person shouldn't be like judged for no matter what crime they commit. But if you are a fucking child predator, no, you need to be like scarlet letter type shit in fucking society. And like, I know that sounds hypocritical of me because I don't think that like, if you're a felon, say you had like armed robbery, say you had like grand larceny or grand theft auto or grand theft or whatever. Though, okay, but a fucking child, come on, man. Fuck that shit. There's no excuse for no MAP, no none of that bullshit. We're talking about a fucking child.
Go ahead.
That is the problem I have with this whole metaverse shit, and that's happening with Facebook pretty soon, where you're hooking up online, everything's going to be virtual reality. And if you're familiar with it, my problem with it is that now what's there to say that a 13-year-old girl doesn't create an avatar, this virtual reality character, and she gets married online to some 40-year-old dude, 50-year-old dude on Facebook. Ain't no laws that say you can't do it because it's virtual. And then it's so realistic that they're implementing touch sensors, man. Yeah. Like it's a virtual fucking thing. Yeah, Facebook is coming out with in March. Now nobody's talked about it. I'm just, this conversation is getting me thinking about it. Like, there's no laws that say you wouldn't be able to do that.
Wow. Fuck that. And then you start making laws, but then it's a slippery slope, and man, I was trying to avoid getting heavy on this, but we're going here. Moving on to the next topic is a good fucking segue now. Hunt, on your Facebook, you had posted up there that the parents of that fucking murderer, piece of shit, 15-year-old fucking kid should go to jail.
Yes.
For the acts of their son. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
They should go to jail for accessory murder because it was 4 days prior to his murdering spree that the dad bought the weapon for him. Now, I got it. The key words are bought it for him. The dad failed to secure the weapon. The dad, that adult failed. That adult failed to make sure that weapon was in a safe place. And I'm once again, when I'm passionate about something, 9 times out of 10, I'm speaking from experience. Mm-hmm. If I know for a fact, because I was told that no matter how many, if I have weapons in my house, if I don't, who knows? But if I was to have weapons in my house, I could have any weapon I want in my house. If any of my children were to if I had weapons, take them out of my house and commit a crime with them, I would be held responsible for that. That is what a law enforcement personnel told me specifically when somebody was bitching about the fact that I may or may not have a weapon or multiple weapons in my house.
So here's my argument to this. All right. I don't know enough facts yet. I don't know if he had it in a safe or he thought it was in a safe place that was, stored or stowed correctly. I may or may not have a pistol in a safe, but it may or may not be one of those, deets ones. But what I'm saying is you could easily grab a fucking hammer and a goddamn screwdriver and probably crack it open. You know what I'm saying? No. That's all I'm saying. Now, the slippery slope where it becomes slippery to me is, all right, where does it stop now? Now you set a precedent. So where does it stop now? Let's say, for example, somebody goes to Lee Hunt's house, has a couple of beers, The guy doesn't seem too intoxicated, but Lee Hunt allowed this person to get behind their vehicle, and then they get into a car accident where they kill people.
I'm liable because it was at my house. Plain and simple. I'm liable.
Okay. I mean, if you're willing to accept that, that's fine. But I'm talking about of age persons over 21 out there partying and just happens to get in an accident. You know, he didn't look like he was shit-faced. He looked normal. He probably was normal. You know, he was probably just a little bit over the fucking limit, still fine to drive, gets into an accident, kills somebody. So now you're liable for murder as well?
Yeah. I want to hear what Urena has to say, then I'm gonna circle back around to that.
Yeah. Go ahead, Urena. What do you think?
All right. Were we talking about the shooter?
Yeah.
All right. Parents. So the parents were there that morning. They were brought in by the school because the school had concerns about the behavior of the kid. Right. The most recent thing I heard today was that the parents were facing criminal charges as well.
Good.
Which I agree with, because like you're in charge of that kid. You created that child. You are creating the personality of that child. If you don't talk to your kids, then you're shaping the personality of the kid by neglecting them.
Let me pause you there for a second. For murder, though, are they being charged for murder?
I don't know. I didn't look into that part.
See, that's my concern.
I think you know, if you're charging this guy as an adult, some responsibility has to go to the parents, because that kid didn't get the weapon by himself. You know, it came from somewhere.
Go ahead.
It's like negligence, man. It's just pure negligence.
That I agree with. Negligence. There was some negligence they're facilitating. That I can agree with. But to try to accuse them of murder, that I just disagree with it. I don't know all the facts
maybe
yet.
Negligent homicide.
Right, but here's the issue. I don't know the facts yet. But go ahead, Hunt. Go ahead.
I was just listening to what Urena had to say.
If you have a pit bull, right, and I don't even want to say pit bull, because that, if you have a dog or any kind of pet and it breaks off and attacks somebody and kills a kid, right? Who's responsible for that?
Bit of a stretch there.
No, their fucking chihuahuas are fucking vicious. So I fucking agree.
If the dog, because you failed to tie the dog down, knowing that it's fully vicious, doesn't like strangers or whatever, breaks loose and kills a kid, whose fault is that? Should the owner be held responsible? Yes, the owner should.
It's crazy that you just mentioned this analogy about a dog, because like I just posted a TikTok, if you will, about this fucking woman, and this woman crying about the police like shot her dog in the head, even though the dog was charging at the police. So the backstory is like this woman always plays with her dog outside, and the dog doesn't bark, but if the dog sees the woman running, the dog will chase. Now there was a foot patrol, there was a foot chase in the neighborhood. The dog didn't know what happened, so the dog started running. Cops didn't know what was going on. Cops shot the dog in the head. Wow. Right? Everybody got upset about it. Like, oh my God, justice for this fucking dog. Justice for this dog. I'm like, bitch, how about we try justice for Philando Castile, who had his license to carry? The cop is on fucking video asking him to show me your license, but still got fucking murdered. How about we have justice for him? This is a fucking human being. But we're talking about justice for a fucking dog. Shut the fuck up.
Hashtag white people problems. So again, I think it's a slippery slope. Because I'll give you another example then. All right. 15-year-old kid, not even 15. Let's say a 17-year-old kid turns 18, right? He has a 17-year-old girlfriend. He's beating guts, gets caught by the dad of the daughter. Now, it's statutory rape because she's underage. And he's
it depends.
18.
Here's the deal.
No.
I'm not making excuses.
Does the neglect fall on the parents on this?
It's not necessarily statutory rape, because you said so yourself. In some states, it's 16, whatever, right?
Mhm.
If those two were together at 16 and 16, the parents knew about it. They knew that they were boyfriend and girlfriend at 16 and 16. The dude or the whatever happened to be a few months older. Say he was like 2 months older. Say the child had to be, one was 18, the other one would be turning 18 in 2 months.
Mhm.
Parents already knew that these two had a relationship when they were underage. The state that they're in says that 17 is the legal age of consent. I don't think that like 2 months difference should be any kind of fucked up shit. And that's where I may sound fucked up, especially if it was a long relationship, the parents knew about this relationship prior to one being 18, the other one being 17.
Urena?
And this is coming from a dude with daughter.
Urena, you're frozen. I know he was having shitty internet earlier, so
That goddamn Urena, you got to fix that cricket internet.
If the parents agree, everybody says it's okay. Hey, I put this out for the last few hours.
I know.
Parents, it's hard to make this argument because here's what I would say, right? If the parents agree, hey, this relationship is fine. These two people, they're consenting. One's a consenting adult, one's a minor, but the parents said, okay, that's fine, and everybody shakes hand and everything's good, right? So would that be an ideal situation?
Not if it was like a 21-year-old and a like 16-year-old.
Right. So, and then where do you draw the line?
You're right. I say you're right, Urena. I say you're right. Personally, it really doesn't matter what I believe because it's ultimately going to have to come down to those parents. If that parent consents to that. And that sucks. And I know people, if they hear this, they're going to say, you're promoting pedophilia. I'm not, because I'm not in that shoes.
Not at all.
I'm not going to consent to that shit personally, but I understand that some people's grandparents were like young as shit, and the grandma was young as shit compared to where the dad was, the grandpa. And so they may have passed that shit down. So I can't consent to that. I can say what's in my sphere of influence and what I will not consent to.
I got a question for y'all. All right. And this is going back to that little fucking murderer. Let's say it wasn't a gun. He took a knife and he stabbed some kids up. Is that still the parents' fault?
I think so.
See, why are they supposed to search their son before he goes to school?
No, because they raised a stupid fucking kid, man.
Okay, so wait a minute. You're gonna tell me that there's not kids out there that are just already fucking, I don't want to say predestined, but they already have that. We don't know what the fuck happened. Now, I'm not justifying this kid shooting people at all. You know what I'm saying? At all. Let's get that straight. But I don't want to pin the blame strictly on the fucking parents. Being a parent of a fucking 11-year-old right now, I might as well be fucking 11-teen, as I call her. There's only so much you can do to guide this child. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. So are you okay? Last fucking one. Your kid gets into a fucking physical altercation. They get into a fight. He fucking rear naked chokes the fucking kid, accidentally snaps his fucking neck. Is that the fucking parents' fault?
No, you just said it's an accident.
This is what I would say. But there was no weapon there. Like, a kid is not going to know how much force it's going to take to snap someone's neck. Okay. Compared to
let's stab him.
If I stab you, yeah, it is the parents' fault. Like, where were you? I really don't want to get into too much of my personal shit on here, but like, you cannot tell somebody to bring something to a fight that is physically going to harm somebody other than their fist. You can't say take pepper spray, and if somebody fucks with you, pepper spray them. No,
I'm not saying that the parents said take it. Now, if the parents said take this fucking gun and go shoot him, then yeah, the motherfucker is liable for that shit.
If you fail to parent your kids and they go out and do something crazy and society, the rest of the world says we're not going to take this, and society kills your kid, That's your failure because you failed to teach this kid right from wrong. That kid, there's so many programs that could have intervened and said, because I can already see, because I've seen these kind of parents before. It's like, oh, the school is supposed to raise my kids for me and stuff, and then just let their kids fucking do anything. The kids are smoking cigarettes inside the house while the parents are like trying to be the cool parents and all this shit. And no, there's gonna be consequences, man. In this case, your negligence by fucking not being there and being a parent and fucking your fucking kid's fucking reckless and stupid. Why are you gonna leave your weapon out where he could probably see it
Again,
and fucking
we don't know where the weapon was at. Did he give him the weapon?
I'm just saying, I don't care. The fucking he committed a big boy crime. He's gonna do big boy time. His parents failed him. Period. That's how I see it. The parents fucking failed him.
But the parents,
it's just put a lens. Put the lens. That's how I see it, man. I'm sorry. I don't feel sorry.
And it's cool. And it's cool to agree to disagree on shit. You know what I'm saying? We see things differently.
I don't feel sorry for these fucking parents, man. Because like,
I'm not saying we should.
Like other parents just lost their kids.
Exactly. I agree with you on that. Trust me, yesterday, we were supposed to do the podcast yesterday. I called Hunt, full transparency. I called Hunt and I was like, I can't do this today. You know, luckily he was doing some other things as well, but I didn't want to touch on this topic because I got emotional yesterday on the ride home, you know, because I have a daughter who is in junior high and I just started thinking in my head, this type of shit going on. You know what I mean?
And now, all right. So counterpoint, because now I'm thinking about it, right? Mm-hmm. Another group I'll hold responsible in this situation, because it's another possibility, is that kid probably got bullied by these people, right? Hold on. Kid probably got bullied by these people, and what did the school do? Nothing. They turned the other cheek. They didn't give a fuck. They didn't properly notify the parents, who probably think their kid's like a really smart kid doing great in school. For all they know, like, the kid's done nothing wrong. The kid, meantime, he's going through some shit. Fucking all these other kids are beating the shit out of him every day. He can't go to the school because the school is telling him to man up and just fucking deal with it. I've seen that before, like, where it's like, we're not gonna do shit. Just fucking, it's part of life. Figure it out.
Hunt looked like he got something to retort. Go ahead, Hunt.
I did, but then I had to kind of sit back and do some thinking as far as the bullying aspect. And once again, I'm not going to get too in my personal shit, but I had to think and not let my emotions take over. But I do understand the bullying aspect, and if that's the case, if this child was bullied, it is not only a failure of the school, it is a failure. It is predominant. Then I think the failure is on the school. The school should have notified the parents what's going on. And if the parents were notified, it should not have been this man up, suck it up type thing. You know what I'm saying? That issue should have been addressed, plain and simple. And I'm speaking for Lee Hunt. If somebody was bullying my child, I would demand to see that child's parents, especially the dad, and be like, okay, bully me. Obviously, you're picking on your child. Bully fucking me. And I'm not saying I'm Billy Badass or nothing like that, but bully fucking me. Mm-hmm. I'm not Billy Badass. Listen, I'm full of transparency. I'm scary. I'm a bitch. I ain't shit. But if your child is acting out like this, there's something going at home. And if you have issues, come take the shit out on me.
Now you see how we're having different perspectives on things, right? Because we don't know the full fucking picture. And that's my whole point to this. I can't blame the parents automatically without knowing what the fuck all of it. I need to know the whole thing. It's easy for us to, because now in the social media age, we want everything instant. We want answers instantly. And my emotional side is like, fuck yeah, that kid needs to be hung. You know what I'm saying? Hang him. But then what if it turns out, like Urena just said, there's some bullying, there's more backstory to this, Go ahead, Yuri. What were you gonna say?
And then, unfortunately, because I also remember this happening, then it turns into an angry white kid dilemma that's happening in schools, and that's happened. But here's why. There's something curious happened this week. The day the shooting happened, there was also a report that just so happened to come out where it discussed about how opposition to gun control was at its lowest point in the last 2 years. It dropped to 54%. Were in support of tighter restrictions. That was a drop from, I think, like 75% 2 years ago during the Parkland shooting, right? So the news had just started talking about how like not a lot of people were supporting gun control these days, and actually gun sales have increased by a large margin in the last year alone, and then that the popularity of the idea of controlling guns has started to decline because people were just not even talking about it. And here comes the shooting that just so happens, and now this conversation about gun control, I'm pretty sure that's going to be the topic.
Oh,
it's not going to be a fair trial, I feel, because I think the conversation is going to turn into a gun control conversation.
It already has, bro. I mean, if you look at the fucking far left wing, they already started politicizing this shit from the moment it happened. You know
what's happening around the world right now?
Yes, fucking. What you talking about between China and fucking Russia? They're both of their bullshit that's going on. Yes.
Russia building up next to the Ukraine.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and then threatening the fucking UN, and then fucking like China a couple of days ago, they really are fucking being bold about flying into Taiwan's airs.
This goes into my tenfold theory. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, I'm good. I want to see what Irina had to say.
That is exactly that, because we're all thinking it. That is what is going on. There's some international stuff that's going on right now, and it just this happens to be the busiest week of news. Just out of the blue, there's a shooting. The gas prices aren't dropping as much as they want. The president's fucking popularity is at an all-time low. The Ghislaine Maxwell fucking trial, all this crazy. Russia's got troops. They're talking about fucking invading Ukraine. Like that's what they're fucking saying. And China just took a bunch of people from Taiwan and took them. They just took people.
And didn't the government say, the U.S. government say something along the lines of all options are on the table, and we're just supposed to like just forget that was even mentioned, because that normally is the fucking boom, 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 the war drums beating. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it's fucked up. Like here's the deal. Putin is full of shit. Putin is testing not only the UN but the US. I don't think he's actually going to invade Ukraine. I think he's going to really keep increasing the Russian presence on that border. I think he will. And when I say I don't think he's going to do it, I don't think it would be like we're wearing the fucking Russian fucking uniform. I think it's going to be like what happened with it's not Kiev, it's whatever place they annexed when Obama was in office.
Crimea. When they just rolled right
Crimea.
Oh, I think about
Crimea.
Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia was 08. I know Georgia, but Crimea. I think it'll be more. I think if they do something to Ukraine, excuse me, y'all, I think it's going to be proxy. Now, I'm more worried about the Russian. I'm not the Russian, but the Chinese and the Taiwan shit, because if y'all gotta think about it, man, these motherfuckers been building up in the South China Sea for fucking years. I think they would be the ones to poke the bear before Russia will.
Just a quick note about Taiwan. Isn't that where the chips are coming from, by the way, too?
That
we're having the ones that we're having a shortage of here in the U.S.
I thought it was from China.
They're from like the mines in Western China, man. That's why Afghanistan, also the northeast of Afghanistan, produces minerals for lithium batteries. But the Chinese have been there since 2008, though. Like, it's just they just did a better job about not getting attacked when they were there. You look at them as the invaders.
I'll tell you what, gentlemen. This is the reason here that I enjoy having my military friends. This sit right here. We could sit back, throw some fucking crazy ass conspiracy theories. We talked about porn in the beginning of the motherfucking podcast. Then we moved into motherfucking GUNLINE, conspiracy theories. And, you know, I can't do this with civilian friends, y'all. You know, for some reason I can't. And it makes me feel lonely. I have no fucking civilian friends out here. The ones that I do, they're more of acquaintances per se.
You're more the hey Kathy, hey Bob.
Here's something to think about though, man. Here's what frustrates me.
Go ahead,
right?
brother.
We're in the military right now. Everybody's always training for this like near peer bullshit where it's like, oh, if we ever go to war with China, we go to war with Russia or whatever, right? That's all they say. Like, oh, we're training to fight these dudes. The way we're training right now is to we're supposedly supposed to just be on this giant empty battlefield, right? And we're gonna go force on force against the Chinese and the Russians. That sounds great on paper. You tell Congress that, they'll be like, oh shit, yeah, we got to keep that training going. But if you just stop and think, what does China look like? Does it look like a big open battlefield? Or do they have super cities, fucking big fucking hills, or a very populated community? Huh. What about Russia? What does Russia look like? Fucking Siberian, fucking cities.
What happened to the Germans in fucking in World War II?
Yeah, they have infrastructure. It's not some empty fucking desert at NTC. What the fuck are we training? Yeah. Like, that is not how that fight's gonna look.
Bro,
we're gonna show up and be like, oh fuck, there's a fucking train. It looks like Call of Duty up in this bitch. We didn't train for this shit. If you look at Ukraine versus Russia, they're in some trenches, dude. They're finding trenches. That is not how we're training right now.
Listen. I know we don't know each other like that, Urena, and you really finna think I sound like a dick. But when you were like, what does China look like? I was finna say, you motherfucker, that's what China looks like.
That's how you know I'm gonna survive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna survive this whole thing, man.
That's why I was like
looking at Panda Express.
Yeah, that's why I was like laughing when you said that shit. I was literally thinking, you motherfucker, that's what they look like.
Bro, you know? I pull my tongue out, cut it, and then
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, dog. But like that shit was just it's just me being an asshole, man.
Urena is gonna fucking take the goddamn uniform of a goddamn dead fucking Chinese soldier and have it in his ruck. In the event that they get ran over, be just ni hao. The motherfucker go to ni hao kai land like a motherfucker.
Yeah, god damn it. Like I said, yo, Urena, I'm sorry, brother, man. That shit just was like I was like
oh man. You know what, gentlemen? I really enjoyed this one. And so before we end this up, I got about 5 minutes left. I do want to speak on one more thing. Urena, you did take a trip just recently.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And can you tell us a little bit about that trip you took?
All right, middle of November, I drove down to Clarksville, Tennessee, where Fort Campbell is, and I took part in the Irreverent Warriors Silkies hike. So it's a bunch of veterans and stuff from different periods of time, all the branches, different wars, and all that stuff. Supporter, family members, or whatever. You just wear these like the Ranger panty shorts, and you go on a 5-mile hike or a 6-mile hike with a bunch of people. You just talk and you just walk, man. And it was the best thing ever. Like, it was my first time doing it, and it was so therapeutic, man. Like, I remember just walking and just thinking about life, what I'm doing with my life, where I fit in the bigger picture. It was so therapeutic, man. And the message behind this is to bring veterans together using humor. The people that own Vet TV and stuff, they kind of run a lot of this stuff. And it just brings attention to like PTSD awareness, and then bring attention to the suicide epidemic that's happening among veterans and stuff. And so you know, that's pretty much the focus of the thing. And I liked it so much that I'm going to go again this weekend in Vegas, because they do them all across the country, like two a month across the country. And then there's 2 left this year. There's one in Vegas, which I'm going to, and then one in Key West, Florida, the following week. And it's just $5, or you don't have to pay anything at all. You just pay $0 to take part. And you just bring your ass, meet a bunch of people. There's like a pre-dinner the night before. There's the event the next morning, and then there's the post-hike dinner that same night. And you just like shoot the shit with a bunch of veterans, man. And it's the most therapeutic shit. And this second time around, now that I've got that first one out of the way, it's going to be more towards like talking to other people, you know, really getting to like be out there and like talk to people. So,
yo, obviously I'm not going to make this one, the 2 this month, because it's short notice. But Urena, if more information that you have on these, man, I'll be down to do this shit with you, brother. Like straight the fuck up, man. Because like I definitely want to do this. And you know what? As a matter of fact, when we do this shit together, we can go in that town and get the whole fucking the BFA veterans tattoo too.
I'm down, man. Because so on the Tennessee one, I reached out to somebody that I knew in Tennessee, who was stationed in Korea after Lopez left. I hadn't seen this dude in like 12 years, man, since Korea and stuff. And he kind of went through the same stuff that I've gone through in my life. And I reached out to him. I'm like, hey, dude, there's this hike you're coming with, you know, and grab your shit, man. I got the hotel locked down. You need to get out for a while. And he did. And for him, you know, I'm not speaking for him, but I think it was he got the same result from it. And they do them in Texas all the time. If you just want to see where they've done it this last year, go to irreverentwarriors.com. or just Google Irreverent Warrior Silkies hike. You see all the cities that they've done, and I think they try to stick to the same general schedule each year.
So what I'll try to do is I'll try to go ahead and find their website. Locations. Sorry, you froze up, Urena. Go ahead, my bad. Are you back?
No, you're good.
There you go. Oh, sorry, you froze up, brother. So what I'll do then is I'll go ahead and try to find their link on the website, and I'll go ahead and drop it on the fucking on the Facebook. You know what I'm saying? So people can look it up. And Hunt, you know, we definitely got to get together and do one of these bad boys. You know, I ain't doing no runs. This cat ain't doing no motherfucking runs.
No, it's a walk, man. You just walk. You'll probably find a bunch of videos on YouTube, man. It's amazing, dude. I'm telling you, you got veterans in wheelchairs fucking carrying big ass flags and shit. It's amazing. It's a good time. And they do them in San Antonio.
Word. Done. What about you, Hunt? What you got coming up in the last 2 minutes?
Oh, nothing, man. Like I'm all in with this Urena. Like I said, brother. You know, I was just fucking with you earlier about the whole fucking Asian shit, the Chinese people.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? Hey, you know how everything is, but no, man. But like, seriously, Urena, like, I want to do this march with you, dog. Like, I'm all in it. Lopez, you know, they're having one in Texas. We're definitely doing the shit, but I definitely would love to do this with you, man. If me and Lopez get the tattoo before you, I'll still go with you and get the tattoo, but still definitely down to do the tattoo.
Hey, y'all just reminded me of one more thing I got to rant about. All right, this has nothing to do with shit than this shit. There's nothing that pisses me off more than motherfuckers that get sensitive for a joke that I make.
yeah.
For another motherfucking person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, you know, I have made a fucking joke during a certain time, during my time that I was supposed to be acting professional. And I laughed about it. I thought it was funny. And apparently I had to get talked to about this because somebody got sensitive about it and thought that it was unprofessional and could be looked at as racist. So I wish I could put out more information about this. I'll let y'all know offline, but I got 1 minute left. So here's my thing. If there's any civilians listening to this, mind your goddamn business. If I'm not talking directly to you about you, don't worry about it. All right. If the other person, I'm sure, can handle the joke that I'm making, it's because if I'm making the joke, it's because I know they can handle the fucking joke. You know what I'm saying? So stop getting that sandy fucking vagina. Grab your fucking, look in between your goddamn legs. There's 2 balls there. All right. Grab them and realize you're a fucking man, guy. You know? Even the females thought it was fucking funny, but no, you got to be a little bitch boy. And it pisses me off that your fucking parent was a fucking in the military as well. What was he? A fucking 92 Yankee? S1? Fucking, you know what? Probably a fucking MP because you're a bitch.
8,
ooh, no
7,
shots fired, but
5, 4,
all
3.
Right, rounds complete. End of mission. Hey, psych. We're back. Unfortunately, I didn't get to do my outro correctly, so we're back again. And yeah, so if it's not about you, mind your goddamn business. All right. I don't know if the military has those motherfuckers nowadays. We used to have them. Call them blue fucking falcons. You know, little bitch bait made motherfuckers. But anyways, what do y'all think about people like that? Have y'all ran into that shit?
Saw that, yeah, especially on fucking TikTok, but that's a whole new story. Like, oh my God, like,
shit, that's right. Hunt, you got a perfect fucking example, don't you? You want to talk about that?
Yeah, man. So there was this one motherfucker who, so he started talking about like white women using like black people's hairstyles and whatever. And then this motherfucker, he had said something. He was like, something, you know, dudes living in their basement don't even know what kitty cats smell like. Meanwhile, like I have a nose ring. I have my septum pierced. I have my nostril pierced. Buddy has his septum pierced. He has he has a septum pierced, he has a nostril pierced. He doesn't have one of these septum piercings. If y'all know the females that have the septum piercings, they have the little fancy little whatever that goes all the way around. And the dude has his lip pierced. He has his little thing right here pierced. He has his ear pierced, but here's the kicker. He doesn't wear earrings. He doesn't wear gauges. Well, normal earrings. He wears them big hoops, them 1990s hoops that bitches used to wear. And like this motherfucker was on his shit talking about motherfuckers don't even know what kitty cats smell like. And I'm like, bitch, do you know what kitty cats smell like? What the fuck? And all of his fucking goof troop were like, you're homophobic. You can't say that just because he's wearing earrings that that's a gender neutral, and you fucking homophobic piece of shit. You have a crush on him. That's why you're making videos about him. And I'm like, yo, bitches, chill. I'm talking to this dude right here. This is a fucking grown man. If he wants to say some shit, he can say some. He can talk shit back. But all his fucking goof troop bitches were like, fuck you, you fucking homophobic piece of shit. You fucking down low faggot. And I'm like, whoa, just because I called this motherfucker out, I gotta be fucking down low. Like, what the fuck? This shit is fucking crazy. And it is a whole lot of shit. I'm going back and forth with bitches. I got called homophobic because I called this motherfucker sis. And of all people, this old ass Asian woman was like, she got mad at me. She started calling me sis. And I'm like, hold up, bitch. If I'm homophobic for using the word, doesn't that make you homophobic for using that word? Fuck you. You're just a black man tap dancing for white people. Ooh. But I called out what I thought was, you know, white privilege. And I tagged her in the video. And she was like, I don't have time to argue with you. No, I got time, bitch. I have nothing but time to do this. So we're going to do this.
Oh, fucking bitches, man.
Yeah.
Urena, you got anything to add?
I like to know my audience before I can start talking trash. And the way I talk trash is very sarcastic. It's a very slow burn that you won't get until you're probably on your drive home and you're like, man, that dude got me bad. Like,
very
I even
subtle.
laughed about it. Like, fuck, I'm an idiot. I grew up in a family where we call each other by the most like if you have one ear, they'll call you one ear like the rest of your life, and they'll make fun of you. If you're fat, they just call you fat, like fatty. And then, like your mom will call you fat ass and stuff, like gordo and all this stuff. Like, you know, like if you have a stutter, they'll call you remix. You know, like that's where I grew up on. Dude. So like you had to be quick to dish it back out if somebody ever like gave you shit. So that's where I grew up in. But I'm also very aware of like the environment that I'm in. You know, like fucking, I never called my teacher tap dancer because they had one short leg or whatever. Like, I just.
Did you grow up in the late Did you grow up in the late 80s, early 90s?
Early 90s, yeah. I was born in 86.
86?
Yeah.
Okay, so you barely made the 80s babies.
I remember the 80s, man. I remember the t-shirts that, like, my mom used to have the shirt shit. There was a disc that they put on the shirt for the excess shirt, and they were just like,
twist it
like the no smoking sign or whatever, and then just put the shirt through it.
The fucking whole just say no to drugs shit. Oh yeah.
My childhood photos, the youngsters. House was the plywood. That was the walls.
Anyways, y'all, I appreciate y'all coming back on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. With that being said, I appreciate y'all being here, letting me vent a bit. I think we had a good discussion here. For anybody that's new from the Tickety Talks, hey, welcome to the On the Gunline podcast. You know, we just shoot the shit here, y'all. There's no fucking agendas. We don't give a fuck. Make sure y'all go visit my boy at fucking Red Leg Custom Woodworks for your artillery round made out of wood, not no fake shit, no hollow shit. It's a solid fucking wood that he makes on that spinny thing and he custom makes, you know, the painting. Look at the lot is OTGL for the On the Gun Line. And that came from an idea from my co-partner from the podcast. Anyways, with that said, rounds complete, end of mission, gun line out. Bye, motherfuckers.